Hello. I just wanted to recap my loss on SRM. I traded for a possible afternoon play. Talked about my miss on the same ticker this morning on the morning gap and crop, and I'll just go over, won't even really go over it, but just wanted to recap my thoughts, or I should say my revelations on it this morning. So yesterday I kind of chased CTNT for a pre-market gap and crop reversal, and the bad entry led to me getting shaken out and then ended up doing what I wanted it to do. So this morning on SRM, I wanted to be very disciplined on my entry, and I ended up missing the play, but I wasn't in it. So I wanted to get in right here, but once again, I kind of hesitated. I wasn't really super dialed in. And then I didn't want to chase here on this second 1 minute candle here. And I didn't really like this higher low. I even thought this was a little bit too high as well. And it ended up doing what I wanted it to do. And my biggest kind of revelation from this was I need to be confident in my thesis and my support levels. Not only confident, but just not on the fence about them. And why I say that is because I feel the reason why I'm hesitating is because I'm lacking that confidence or that conviction. So what happens is like I'm on the fence about, oh, is this support? In this case, I wasn't on the fence about the macro idea. I'm more usually on the fence about the price action and my support line. And what happens is, I kind of get in my head about the price action, and then I'm not sure about the support line. So I'm on the fence, and then I'm waiting for some sort of reaction at the support line. And then I kind of hesitate just because I'm on the fence in general. And then when I hesitate, it's too late. So to avoid that hesitation, I think I just need to be confident in my support levels and confident in my bigger picture thesis. And in this case, I wasn't. And yesterday, I wasn't as well. And they kind of formulated in two different ways. Yesterday, I chased, and psychologically, I was messed up. And today, I just missed the play. However, the silver lining is that I do feel a little bit better emotionally missing the play but not losing money versus yesterday chasing and losing money. So, and wasting a day trade. So, I feel a little bit better that I didn't chase one and I didn't lose money. So, it's something to hang my hat on. And I wasn't looking at this for an afternoon play, but it just kind of had this consolidation here at the support line, which is daily support. And I just really liked this perk from it. So when it made a higher low here, I got in. And, I was getting ready for work. It was kind of rushed. Like I kind of got lazy where I'm like, oh, I made a higher low. Let me just get in. The loss was super small. Like I got in at 115, got out at 111. But it was a silly trade because of a few reasons. One, the price action was super weird. It was like slow, really choppy, kind of on this higher low. Can maybe show it. Yeah, you see all these big wicks here. This is just on the 1 minute chart. So it was just like up and down, and like it was just kind of silly. And the second reason why it was a silly trade was because it was slightly emotional because I had missed this in the morning. And it was 2 days in a row that I missed something. And that's another revelation I'm having as I speak right now is I do feel like I have patience and I do feel like I have good emotional discipline. But what I do lack is when something happens over and over and over again. So for example, if I miss trades or miss an entry, let's say 5 times in a row, then that's kind of when I start getting emotional. If I do it once, if I do it twice, okay, maybe I'll be okay. I'm not too mad about it. But like when it happens the third time, or when it happens the fourth time, and it happens the fifth time, then I start getting angry and getting emotional. And I feel like overall, big picture, I'm obviously struggling with trading, right, in general. I mean, there's days where I feel like I feel like I'm really close, right, just to finding any consistency at all, right? And then I just can't seem to quite execute, And, and I've talked about, multiple times outside of trading, my life has been pretty rough. And, again, it's like my patience only lasts so long. And I need to work on just having long-term patience and being okay with like failing over and over and over and over and over again until I win. And this is outside of trading. I always say everything starts outside of trading. If I'm walking the dog and he keeps pulling on the leash, okay, the first couple times I'm pretty patient. I don't mind. But if he does it the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time, I start getting very angry, like very angry, very impatient. And it's the same thing with trading, right? Where when I continue just not quite getting it, not quite getting it, not quite getting it, I really get upset. So that's something else I need to work on. I don't have a solution right now. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to sleep on it. But the last thing of why this was a silly trade and the biggest trading lesson from it, in my opinion, we're not seeing afternoon pushes in play. And ultimately, I just got caught up in small picture price action, which is something that I do a lot. And what I feel like I see a lot of new traders do is, there's a stock, it has volume, it's in play, and it's like, oh, it's consolidating at support. Or in my case, oh, it's making a higher low. So that means it's a play. And that's just very small picture thinking. I mean, if any stock that had volume dipped at support, bounced off support or broke resistance and broke out or did a play after making a higher low, this would be super easy, right? And it's like that we haven't seen afternoon pushes in play. What we've been seeing in play are stocks going from 2 to 8, 2 to 10, right? We've seen SNTI, CYCN, PSQH, and then PPPT all go from 2 to 8. And we've been seeing pre-market gap and crap reversals on all those tickers. And we've been seeing a handful of first green days. That's what's in play right now. And that's all I should be focusing on. I shouldn't really be focused, and I was, right, in the morning, but we haven't seen afternoon pushes. So there's no reason really for me to be playing this. And I knew that too. That's why I wasn't even thinking about it. But I got emotional because I missed it in the morning. I just liked this kind of consolidation and perk. And I was desperate. Right? I was desperate because I keep missing plays and I want to get on the board here, right? And I like afternoon pushes. Like I like that pattern in general. So, it wasn't something that I hate, and the risk was super small, and I still want to get into the habit of just pulling the trigger, right? Especially headed into this market, but it's just not in play. And I feel like when a pattern's not in play, we're just playing small picture price action. There's no big macro. And, just listening to my past couple of videos, one of the biggest reasons I have conviction with these pre-market gap and craps right now is because they're happening nearly every day, right? So when everything else is in order, volume, catalyst, price action, price range, whatever the case is, the big cherry on top is that the pattern's in play right now. So leading to CYCN, I tried trading this on day one pre-market gap and crap reversal. It didn't end up working because the volume was pretty low and there was no catalyst. So when it popped up this morning, I wasn't even looking at it. I was just like, okay, like it's essentially faded for 3 days after day one. Now it's kind of gapping up randomly, not doing anything. But I should have looked at the price range. It went 2 to 7 right in pre-market, just like the rest of them. CTNT, PSQH, SNTI, right? And I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I didn't even think, which is silly, right? Because I don't know if I would have bought this right here because I don't see any support level here. But I would have honestly considered buying this, risking this, or buying this high or low. Now, I don't really want to buy at 1230, but this whole week we've been seeing stocks go from 2 to 8. And this is almost a perfect example of why that's so important, right? It bounced. Typically, I'm not going to buy a ticker that isn't really bouncing at a support level. I'm not really typically going to buy right here on a morning reversal that's not really far from its pre-market high right here, and I'm typically not going to buy an afternoon play at 1230 above VWAP. But all of those things I possibly would consider because this pattern's in play. So I feel like I shouldn't even be considering other plays or worrying about other plays that aren't in play right now. Just focus on what's in play. They're the biggest percent gainers of the day, right? So tomorrow, all I'm going to be focusing on is pre-market gap and craps, stocks from $2, and some first green days. Now, the first green days we saw today were VCIG. Which fell all the way down to the support line, which was nice. But it never dipped for me, right? It just spiked straight up. This isn't really enough of a dip for me. I needed to go very near back to the support line. And then, honestly, it was just pretty quick. So unless you got in, I mean, even if you got in literally right here, you would have only made 10%. The other one was SNTI. And again, never really dipped. It had a little fake out here at a hole number 6 and then broke again and bounced. Kind of something I've noticed too with these kind of bounce plays is they'll kind of fake out a little bit, right? So this almost kind of did what I wanted it to do, but I would prefer it just kind of goes like it hits a support line, it has one candle of up, and then it kind of comes down. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Not on the 5-minute. I prefer like on the 15-minute or the 30-minute. You'll see like one big candle, and then it'll fall down, and then it'll kind of slowly grind back up. That's what I like, right? So this one was a little bit better, but I'm just not quite ready to trade these yet after losing so many last month. So my biggest lesson from my loss in the afternoon was play what's in play. It's so important. It's so important just to play what's in play, right? Because why waste my time on anything else, right? You know, I could look at 30-day surges right now, sure, but they're not really in play. I could look at, you know, reverse splits, but they're not really in play, right? So why waste my time on them? Just focus on what's in play. And I think I'll be in a good spot. And, you know, really taking some good lessons from this week. I feel even, and I feel great just dialing into my patterns, gap and craps and afternoon plays, right? But afternoon plays aren't in play right now, so I'll put those to the side, and I'm lucky that gap and craps are in play right now, right? I could just focus on those. Even better, I could just focus on one thing, and I'm lucky enough that they're in play, right? So even better, I don't have to worry about anything else right now. I could just observe calmly, no stress, and just focus on my gap and craps. And it's allowed me to kind of really hone in even deeper, right? Like realizing that my entries are bad, realizing that I shouldn't hesitate, realizing that I need to be more confident in my support levels and my theses so that I can get a good entry, right? So that's that. And then tomorrow, like I said, I'm just looking at gap and craps, first green day bounces. That's it.